Just in time.
I know Google. Okay.
What's going on,
We're
gentlemen?
live. we're live. We just went live. Before I get started, I'm going to introduce everyone, starting with well, from my far left to from there forward, because I don't have anyone to my right, because I'm looking at it from my window and not from the YouTube thing, because I'm crazy like that. So starting with a Canadian who has some things to say. Go ahead, Bear Hugger.
What's going on, guys? I'm your boy, Derogatory. Glad to be here. Thanks for having me, man.
Super, super, super. And to his right is the dude who looks like a green alien Jesus.
Hello, my name is Kanashi Abominita, and always remember that all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
Okay, all right. And to his immediate right is a gentleman who is Van Helsing, who also really likes AMD. You got something to say, Van Helsing?
What is going on there, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? This is Poppy2K, and I'm back here with Mr. Red Fox and the crew. Remember, no tricks for treats.
Man, that's terrible. I like tricks for treats. So here we go, and followed by the man who really likes Pokemon, and Pokemon Red specifically, apparently. Introduce yourself, sir.
Hey, this is Triple M, and we're ruffling some feathers, going in some graveyards, and doing some excavations. Let's see if we can make some money out of this. Oh,
we're not ruffling anyone's feathers, unless you took a franchise, bought it, and haven't done anything with it for like 10 years.
Exactly.
Exactly.
Screw Konami, man.
Not that we'd be talking about anyone specifically. Konami. So I guess, and of course, you know it's me, Mr. Red Fox, blah, 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 yakety schmackety. You know who it is. Basically, this podcast, we're talking about something that's near and dear to our heart, which are old franchises we grew up with, or franchises that we didn't grow up with, but are kind of like, you know, we're kind of like one and done or two and done, that really need to be brought back and made, you know, made for a modern gaming crowd that could really resonate. And not only could they resonate, but they could be easily marketed to that crowd and made viable. So who wants to go first? Who wants to bring something back from the dead? Who wants to Frankenstein this son of a bitch?
I'll go.
Okay, go ahead.
I would like to see Final Fight make its way back to the actual console market. And the way that I would approach it would be to, obviously, you know, HD, everything else, like blah, 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 blah. Keep it side-scrolling. But add the ability for me to either create my own character or have the ability for me to create my own move sets for my character, because that would add a lot of replay value. That would add a lot of longevity towards the game itself. And given the way technology is nowadays, and given the fact that side-scrolling platforming games are very easy to actually make, they could give us the tools to create our own stages. You can actually, I would actually incorporate the ability for us to rename the enemies to whatever we want, our bosses to whatever we want. Yeah, I think a side-scrolling beat-em-up game such as Final Fight, because that was my personal favorite growing up as a kid.
Mm-hmm.
I think having a franchise like that make its way back, but actually really bring it back to form and do a lot more with it, like customizable moves, make your own stages, you know, and customize enemies like health beverages, like certainly not beverages, but like, you know what I mean, like health. Do a lot more with it. Give the actual players more freedom to do whatever they want in an actual Final Fight side-scrolling beat-em-up game. That's what I would bring back from the dead, man.
As long as they let me give Mike Hagger that awesome ponytail from Final Fight 3.
Yes, yes.
I'm a 60-year-old man, but I got a wonderful flowing ponytail.
Yeah.
I'm like, whatever, dude. Whatever you need to do, Mike. Whatever you need to do, dude. Most middle-aged men, they get a fast car and a young woman, but him, ponytail, beat the shit out of some punks. Okay. Congratulations, Mike. So who would you get to make this game? Because I mean, Capcom.
Well, I was gonna say I'll let Capcom do it, but seeing how they're pretty much basically in the hole and they're bleeding like a son of a bitch, but I don't know who I would actually get to do it. I mean, Way Forward would definitely be a phenomenal.
Because didn't they do Double Dragon?
Yeah.
Neon.
And after playing, after finally getting around to playing Shantae, they definitely know that side-scrolling, game very, very well. So, I would definitely say if Capcom and Way Forward actually did a collaboration together in order to create this beast of a Final Fight game, dude, I'll be all down for it for sure, man. Definitely.
All right, fair enough. Okay, so that was fairly decent, but now you guys know how to do it. Who wants to go next?
I'll go.
Okay, go, Kenoshi.
You know what I really want? Quan kind of brought it up last night off the chat, and that's a real sequel to Chrono Trigger. Chrono Trigger, in which deals with, instead of time travel, deals with multiverses. Now, in a multiverse that doesn't write itself into a corner, if you know what I mean. A multiverse in which it just doesn't end with there's just infinite possibilities, but it doesn't matter the choices that you make. You just end up in the same place. Yeah, you know what game I'm talking about. Anyway, it'd be a Chrono Trigger which deals with multiverse, which deals with probably trying to repair the universe or something crazy like that. And Square wouldn't make it. No, it wouldn't be Square. It'd be like Mistwalkers or the people the people who made Xenoblade, because Square can't make an RPG anymore.
Monolith, yeah.
They either whore out the old RPGs like Final Fantasy VI and completely bastardize it with crappy sprites, or they focus too much on graphics. And then it just turns into oh, look how pretty this game is. What about the gameplay? Gameplay?
I don't know what you're saying. They made Final Fantasy VI better. I'm being facetious, man.
That game looks terrible. Ugh. Anyway, it'd be the sequel to Chrono Trigger.
Okay, all right. That's like the holy grail of games to be brought back. And okay, so all right. So doing a real sequel to Chrono Trigger, because Chrono Cross doesn't count.
Nope.
That doesn't count. And somehow get Mistwalker and Monolith Soft together. So we would have to pull a Blues Brother-esque getting the band back together type thing, like with a bus. Well, you need more than the bus, because I think Mistwalker has like 18 employees and Monolith Soft has like 40 something. Yeah, you get a bus. We get a bus traveling around Japan, getting the band back together. We're on a mission from God. We're getting the band back together.
Just create a temporary name for a company. They make this game. It'd be great.
I got the name. They could call it the Real Squaresoft.
Let's just start a GoFundMe page, a Kickstarter page, and we'll have billions by the end of the day.
There'll be no GoFundMe. No, that was that was the most saddest shit I ever saw when they had that Sony presentation and they brought that man out there begging people for money. That was sad. That was some sad shit. I felt bad.
So when he passed the donation plate around, you didn't contribute, Mr. Red Fox?
No, I did not.
You know what, for the Shenmue Kickstarter thing?
I did not contribute because I know something that most of the people who claim they love Shenmue don't know, is that game cost $90 million to make back in the 90s. So I know no matter how much they ask for now, that they're not asking for enough to get that game to come out the way it needs to come out. So
yeah, that game's gonna cost like $500 billion because of inflation.
I am not stupid. So when they asked, I was like, that's not enough money to make that game. And why didn't he partner up with someone to get that game made? I know it's expensive, but I mean, the thing is, Shenmue has always been a very niche game, and the people who claim they love it never even really played it. They probably burnt it on a CD and played it on played soft modded their Dreamcast to play bootleg games. They didn't play Shenmue. They didn't know about how you had to spend hours working a fake real job in that game to get certain events to trigger so that you could get further. They didn't know about that. And I'm like, if you didn't know about that, you didn't play Shenmue because that was a hard thing to get through.
Shenmue 2 was pretty good for its time. I played that. I played the original one on the Xbox, or 2 on the Xbox when they got ported over there, with the first one being in like a movie.
Yeah.
I want the Iron series, the Iron Sword series to come back.
Iron Soldier, is that the one with the
Iron Sword, Iron Sword.
Iron Sword. I'm not familiar with that. Explain a little bit about what that franchise is.
Oh, well, that franchise was the one where you had this character going around bouncing up with his, large sword sticking up in the air, killing enemies. And one of the box art, the box art represented a young Fabio at the time.
Oh yeah,
that was
he's
talking about Iron Sword, Wizard and Warriors.
The Wizards and Warriors, yeah. The Iron
Sword series. Yeah.
You want to see that, bro? God damn.
Oh man,
so
I would love to have
Fabio.
that game. I would love to have that
Fabio again.
And I don't know, man. Those type of games, that style of gameplay was just amazing for its time.
It was so cheesy, it was good.
Yeah. I just think, that, and also reminds me of a little game known as Willow.
Oh, that's a good RPG.
Based on the movie. It was actually one of those offshoot type games that was actually very well done. I don't know if you guys ever played it.
Yeah.
Willow on NES.
Yeah, it was a really good RPG.
Oh my god, that game was amazing.
It was better than it had any business being. It's like, damn, this is kind of good,
For a movie based video game, that game was amazing. I don't know if they just added Willow to it or not, but it still sticks in the back of my mind as one of those games that needs to be remastered, redone, or brought back for a new audience.
Okay, all right. So, you said Willow. Bear Hugger wants Final Fight, which look, man, I would love to see a good Final Fight brought back because there's nothing like beating up some punks and then getting, when your health gets low, get some trash can meat.
Busting them barrels, man.
Yeah, but this is Mayor Mike. Could you imagine that debate? It's like, how do you plan on dealing with crime, Mayor Mike Hager? Well, here's my plan. I'm going to need all the citizens to order pizza, cook hams and turkey, and get some cheeseburgers. And I'm going to need you to go and stick them in garbage cans.
Crates and barrels.
And crates and barrels. And I'm going to need you, and then I'm going to go out and find these people and beat the shit out of them. I mean, you're not going to call the police or anything? No, man. I handle shit personally.
Yeah, I mean, take it as a personal revenge plot, exactly. Exactly.
Take it your daughter's been kidnapped by a criminal organization. What are you going to do, Mike Hager? I'm going to find these punks, call my daughter's girlfriend and his best friend, and we're going to teach these people a lesson.
And it turned out to be an amazing 3-part franchise, man.
Yeah, they knocked the dude from off the top floor of a building before it was cool.
On a wheelchair.
Well, no, he didn't. That was a fake. He could walk perfectly. The wheelchair was to garner sympathy. Before Mr. X came around, so I give him points. I give him points for originality because it was like an '80s plot film before the '80s plot films were done, because Final Fight came out '89.
Yeah, I think it was '89.
'89, yeah. It was '89, and then they ported it to everything. Well, almost everything. So yeah, and Kenoshi wants a Chrono Trigger, Part 2, I guess. Would they have the same characters, Kenoshi?
I don't know. I think those characters maybe could be older, have children. and then their children go on this grand adventure.
It sounds like a Luffy spinoff.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would have children, and their children would try to fix the universe.
Okay, I mean, I could see that.
Go from saving the world to saving the entire universe. Why not? Fighting interdimensional monsters, interdimensional demons.
Hey, look, it would be better than Chrono Cross, so I can't get mad at it. Yes, I'm shitting on Chrono Cross because that was not a Chrono Trigger sequel. Let's see. So we got a real Chrono Trigger sequel. Poppy wants the Might and Magic Iron Soldier game from the NES days, which there have been Might and Magic games, but that actiony, going around in that full suit of armor, and Fabio looked nothing like the dude on the cover. They just got Fabio.
Yeah, no, that was that shit.
We're just gonna get Fabio. I'm like, what the hell?
They caught your attention though when you bought it, though.
Yeah, no, that false advertisement, son.
But okay, let me put it this way: the guy on the cover of Mega Man, whether you liked that guy or not, you could see them going, okay, we showed them a concept rendering of Mega Man. I could see them drawing that guy. But Fabio looked nothing like the Might and Magic guy. Fabio looked like a barbarian from a D&D game.
I know,
the guy
right?
with Might and Magic looked like just a warrior with a jousting lance. It was so cheap and cheesy, but in a good way. Way. It wasn't like these cheap bastards. It was like, I like this. I like where you're going with this.
But I think everybody here has played a little-known franchise called Castlevania.
Oh God!
And that franchise has been one of those mistreated, misguided, one of the most mistreated, most misguided franchises in history.
Are you saying it's a battered wife?
Yeah, it's been abused. It's been taken advantage. It's been pimped out, whatever you want to call it, whored out.
Not to mention that a female protagonist got swept from the side.
Yeah, they need to give us another Castlevania Symphony of the Night. That's what they need to do. Stop fucking with our emotions and just give it to us, people.
Either that, or if they don't want to take that type of chance, make a decent 2D, levels going around fighting stuff Castlevania. Something. Yeah. Anything better than just having it sit there and just languish away.
You guys ever play the DS Circle of Moon and Circle, what do you call it? The other two?
Yeah, I love those ones.
There was 3 of them.
They're great.
They were amazing. I could never get out of my mind the fact that why are they neglecting contributing to the industry with more of this greatness? Why did it have to end there?
Because Konami figured out they could get people to pay for microtransactions for little mini games and shit, and that there's more money in that. Because people like $5 here.
Would you consider a 2D Castlevania, Metrovania style Castlevania game? Would you consider that a full $60 worth title, or would that just be a indie priced game? What do you guys
think? If it had enough content
on the console.
If it had enough content, it's totally worth the price.
But would most gamers today pay that price? Would you think they'd feel like, well, that's not a full 3D game, so I'm not going to pay for it?
A lot of people won't, but a lot of gamers' mindsets are fucking dumb anyway. So
gamers take shit that we didn't take because we had to be more judicious with our purchases back in the day. So I'm not shitting on modern gamers, even though normally I do shit on normal gamers. But they take things for granted that we didn't. So like Symphony of the Night, yeah, you can beat that game in 5 hours if you know what you're doing. Less if you really know what you're doing. But in order for you to really enjoy that game, you have to, like, the first time you had to explore and check things out and look at stuff,
That was a game too as well that also confused a lot of people too, because in that time period when there was no internet, a lot of people didn't even realize that there was an upside down castle and how you had to
they reversed the game at the end.
I remember
You can play with Richter.
Yep, and I remember seeing that GamePro magazine talking about an upside down castle, and I'm like, what the fuck? I've beaten this game like a billion times. I don't remember an upside down castle.
Yeah, like if you want to get the best ending, you got to do the upside down castle.
You got to play it again. Yep.
Crazy, man. That was insane when I actually discovered that. Now it's just like everything is right there in front of you. You know what I mean? Like it's very rare when you come across games that actually have like hidden things in that you'll actually find.
So do you guys envision the industry running away from those type of games and not charging the full $60 for those games?
Yeah.
Do you think that's no longer valued at that price? Is what I'm trying to say. Because I mean, Mighty Number 9 isn't going to be a $60 title, is it?
Well, considering how much money they keep on losing instead of just releasing the damn thing,
that game is not ready, man. That game is not ready.
Which one?
I don't know.
Mighty Number 9.
No.
Yeah, if you were to ask me, I think that game itself has been remade several times already. They're just not happy. They're not happy with the gameplay. It's not solid.
Well, I know because one of the biggest complaints that I heard from people like complain about it, man, was the fact that it was inspired by Mega Man, but it plays nothing like it.
Yes, that's what I've heard too.
Okay, now that's surprising to me. Dang.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people saying that, and it's like if you're expecting a full-on Mega Man classic feel for this game, you ain't gonna get it with freaking Mighty Number 9. So I was like, well, that's what I was kind of hoping to get out of that, but if not, then what the fuck? You know what I mean? So
yeah, they fucked up.
KG.
Or let's just say, okay, with those changes, but hopefully it actually has some feeling of essence of Mega Man. If they can't even do that,
you know, I'm starting to get the feeling like these 2D side-scrolling Metroidvania, Castlevania style games are like, you know, it's like the idea of riding a moped and shit. It's fun until it's fun until somebody catches you riding it and shit. You know.
You know, normally I would agree with you. But then we get
big girl, you know, until somebody catches you messing around with the big girl. Then
normally I would agree with you, dude. But I mean, let's not forget.
I mean, it's fun to ride them, but until somebody catches you, you know how that goes.
Normally I would agree with you, but let's not forget, dude, that we had you know, Shovel Knight, right? And
by the way, I do enjoy the big girls out there. So shout out to all the big girls out there.
I mean,
David Poppy.
We had Shovel Knight, and I mean, think about that. That game is very much a old school, going back to old school type gaming, you know. And I mean, you know, that game is very, you know, it's very reminiscent of old school.
But it's not $60 though, right?
Well, I mean, no, you're right. It's not $60. But the thing is that it's still a very there's still a market for those types of games. The thing is that they've got to learn how to be able to do that stuff and not be what's the word I'm looking for? They got to learn how to make these types of games and not break the budget while doing it. You know what I mean?
You mean overflowing the budget?
Well, I mean,
it's like going back to my example there, Mr. Red Fox, about Final Fight, right? Because most people would look at a 2D side-scrolling beat-em-up game and look at that as nothing more than a $20 value game to them, right? But when you start adding, you know, tons of customization and bringing like those beat-em-up genre games that we all grew up and loved and that we paid top dollars for, because I remember paying like $75 for fucking Final Fight 3 for Christ's sakes back in the day. So you take a game like that, but if you make it an evolution, you know what I mean? Like, make it drastically, make it feel the same to people, but add things to the game that'll be worth the investment to the consumer's value, right? So, like, by adding, you know, like being able to create your own stages, being able to add your own movesets, create your own moves if you want to, name your characters, do whatever you want, that, to me, would definitely be worth the $6 investment.
Okay. So, anyone else have a game they wish would be brought back, like a franchise, a game, a genre, something that you just like, damn, this stuff was really good and no one's doing anything with it anymore. I don't understand it.
Okay, this might come out awkward of me since I never played this game. I didn't even know such a game, or didn't even hint at that such a genre exists until I was introduced to a character called Ayumi Tachibana from in Super Smash Bros. Melee, which made me do a bit of a digging where this character came from, which is a Japanese only title or Japanese only franchise that's called Famicom Taitei Kura, which translates in English Famicom Detective Club. And as Mr. Red Fox brought it to me that there have been games that was released in this type of genre, which is basically an adventure game, and some of them are even point and click uh, gameplay. So, but for some reason,
You can't
I
remember
don't
right now.
know, I don't know why, but it's kind of weird that I got struck with this particular series, and even though, as I said before, it's a Japanese title, I actually wanted to see if there's a way that you could bring such a franchise like this um, uh, to the States. I don't know why, but I kind of had this plot that is kind of big enough that it actually connects with Japan and and the States. What Think of it like this: having the detective club being so renowned that even at the state side is actually interested in this club. So you might have some sort of introduction or some sort of mixing, if you will, of the Japanese and American market, and let's just say it's kind of
You guys,
sort of like some sort of a serial killer that's been popping up between those two continents, which is eerily similar. That you can go back and forth at as discovering the mysteries of certain of those cases.
okay.
You can say like what Pokemon did for the industry, and right now Yokai Watch, as I said before, like bridging the gap between the Japanese and the American cultures.
Well, I hate to break this to you, but technically speaking, Yokai Watch isn't doing that well in the U.S.
Okay, yeah.
But I understand what you're going. You want it to basically, you want a title that would basically make that title more mainstream, because mystery those games never made it out of Japan. Kind of like Richard and the Frog never made it out of which if you played Link's Awakening, like there's this castle where there's this guy named Richard. Like that's a game that was released in Japan but never came here. And it's kind of like a little pseudo RPG. It's actually pretty nice, but we don't know about it. Like you'd have to look that shit up and figure that shit out.
Yeah, and I'm kind of piggybacking this idea from Quan Manchu. Shout out to him, Commander in Chief of the GNL podcast, Games at Large. Now, instead of they just make a game, make it your standard, or should I say, old school adventure point and click. They could also do it in a should I say graphic novel or interactive novel,
Okay,
which
I can see that.
I kind of see where Quan was going for with that, because let's be honest, much of the adventure point and click genre is not very popular. So maybe uh, if they could evolve it in a certain way and have that interactive novel part into it, it might be much more acceptable. It might even flourish the market, but who knows? I'm just spitballing here.
Okay. I like where you're going. I like your ideas, but I'm gonna go back to my original argument. They already kind of have those games, and they do okay. I mean, look at the Traveler's Tales titles. People love those games. They go insane about those damn games. I gotta find out what happened to Clem, Lim, or whatever the hell that dude's name is. I don't play those games. I read the manga. I mean, not the manga. I read the graphical novels, and that's it. I don't. Otherwise, it's boring to me.
Hey, Red.
Now,
Yeah.
go on, Pop.
Can I add another title? You guys remember the Strike series, the Jungle Strike, Desert Strike series from EA?
Oh yeah, that was a good series.
Remember that? From,
that helicopter.
Yeah. You run around. Yeah, you're basically doing objectives, completing objectives, and you got to manage your weapons and your fuel use, and you got to rescue whatever. That style of gameplay, I think, could still be reimagined in today's world and be successful. I really enjoyed it. I really enjoy those series. They were one of the more finer games of their time during EA's early reign into the industry, I guess. I really enjoy those type of games. I think they have a place in this community. I still think people would play those type of games, make them more modernized. Obviously, they could be successful. What do you guys think?
It could work.
It could work. It could also be, not the real. Let's just say this could be a change-wise or crap. What was that word again? Jeez. Yeah, it could go hand to hand with Ace Combat or with such.
They got helicopters. I mean, it would be nice if they expanded the gameplay with airplanes. There was a game kind of like that on the SNES back in the day called UN Squadron. Anyone played that? UN Squadron?
I don't know. I played a shitload of games. I don't remember that one.
UN Squadron was this game where basically it was a port of an arcade game, but this is one of those things where the home version was better than the arcade version because it was kind of like you basically were completing these objectives over the game, and you would go from point A to point B from point A to point B back and forth, completing objectives, getting money, which you could then go back to base and buy better planes, better weapons. And so, it was kind of like one of those games where you were constantly getting better, getting better stuff, getting better weapons, getting better everything, and it was very well done. And but one of the cool things about it is that you had different pilots, different airplanes, different levels. Like you had some levels where you'd have to bomb something. You go back and forth in bombing runs, and other levels you'd have to destroy a battleship or take out a giant mechanized fortress or some junk like that. You get what I'm saying?
Or extraction points.
Yeah, if they did stuff like that and had a helicopter, you can be this guy who pilots a jet, or you can be this guy who pilots a helicopter. He sucks at flying jets, but in helicopters he gets all types of bonuses. That'd be cool.
Yep.
Oh well. Yeah.
Oh, mind you, Red. What I was about to say about my idea, or should I say, comeback. Now I did edit that you mentioned about reading the book itself of the game that you that was based on, or Yeah, the game that was based on. Now,
The
how
manga?
about yeah, the manga? Now, how about you could actually, for such a game like this, you would market to the readers to actually have some for them to have something more than just reading it passively, just they experience it. And I do believe that they have tried that before, but for some reason I feel like they could do more. They could push it more.
Eh, eh, doesn't bother me. The only reason I chose you and Squadron is because I remember getting it. Like first I rented it, and then later on I went to the same place that was going out of business, and I
Yeah.
bought it for like
That happened a lot.
$15. Yeah, it was like a it was one of those things because Blockbuster came in and messed up everyone's stuff, and then like they were like, we're going out of business, we're selling our SNES games. I was like, shit, this game, because I remember like trying to buy it on eBay when eBay was new, and the game was like $90, and here I got it used. Well, it wasn't new. It was it was still, and here I am, my little dumb ass got the game for like 15. It's a pretty good game. I mean, yeah, it's got the classic SNES slowdown, but it's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
I mean, because this is a Capcom game. This is when Capcom actually used to be good. I mean, it's amazing.
Yeah, Capcom used to make some great games, man. They really put their heart and soul into them.
And then
The
they
people
just
that-
said, F it, man, we don't do that.
What made
We
them
don't
so
do that.
special? Everybody remember the Super NES opening with that sound effect they used on every single entrance. I don't know if it was just a.
Yeah, it was like that was their thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
Except, I mean, I liked Capcom's. Capcom. Whatever happened to you, Capcom?
Capcom and Konami, man, they both thrived during the 16-bit era.
Heck yeah.
Yeah.
During the 32-bit era, they reached a pinnacle, and then after that, they seems like they just
You know what happened? They got lazy.
stopped, man. I mean, during the PS2 era, that's when Capcom, Konami, you notice that they started.
I wouldn't even say they got lazy. I would just say that the actual budgets got way too big and they got too cocky with it, man.
Yeah.
Well, I think, yeah, you're right. That is a part of it. But I also think they kind of like not every, okay, Mega Man, look, listen, I'm a huge Mega Man fan. People are going to say, you're not, because you're not buying Mighty Number 9. Look, listen, that whole
I'm not
thing was
buying
really
that shit.
shady as hell to me. But
Yeah, it don't seem right. It should have been out already.
yeah, it's been delayed too many times, just in my estimation.
It went
but,
from using Unreal Engine 4 to Unreal Engine 3. Something tells me that something's wrong with it.
why I don't know why a 2D platformer would need Unreal Engine. That's the thing I don't understand.
No, it's because it makes it a lot easier. It's a quicker turnaround. They don't have to develop
so
an
they were
engine
going
for
for
it.
ease of use. Okay. All
Yeah,
right,
they,
all right.
they don't want to. Yeah, they don't want to rebuild. They don't want to start a new engine because it costs a lot of money to do that. But
Couldn't they have used Unity, which is free?
yeah, but it'd be the same. I think what they figured is like Unreal Engine is tested, tried, and true, and it's got compatibility across all platforms, and it's easy
So does
to use.
Unity.
It's not, yeah, but Unity doesn't have the support that Unreal does, and I think
Okay.
I don't know, I don't know all the details, but I'm only suspecting, and I am speculating somewhat that that's probably what they were going for. However,
Okay.
I agree, it's a 2.5D game. It should have been done already.
Yeah, I mean, there's some shadiness going on there. I don't have a man on the inside. I had a debate with someone who I had a debate with someone who got mad at me because I was like, this game has been delayed too many times. This game has been delayed technically 4 times now, because it was supposed to come out last year in June, and then they pushed it back to September, and then they pushed it back to before Christmas, and then they said, okay, we're gonna have to push it back to spring, but what's gonna happen? No, to late winter. But what's gonna happen is that we need the people who pre-ordered this, they're gonna get their what was it called? Their free their demo, which they still haven't gotten their demo as far as I know. They still haven't gotten their playable demo. I'm like, there's something shady going on here.
Yeah, you know, when he's going around giving this whole sob story that he wasn't, you know, he needed help, people's help to get his game off the ground, that he, you know, he had amazing talent working on it and all his other shit. And then as soon as he published that he had what do you call it, Nordic Games publishing it, something told me there was something wrong with that.
What
Or
game?
Deep Silver, one of those two. Deep Silver or Nordic. Was it Deep Silver or Nordic?
It was Deep Silver.
It was
Deep Silver.
It was Deep Silver.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was just really, really
As soon
shady.
as he announced that Deep Silver was working on it or was publishing it, that basically told me that
Something in the milk wasn't clean.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, hold up.
Yeah.
You just a couple months ago you were crying saying that you needed all this money, that you weren't able to get, you know, support from it, you know, get it published or whatever. Now all of a sudden you got a publisher. You've been working on that deal for a while. Then that tells me you were working on a publisher already. It just doesn't happen, you know, one day to the next that you got a publisher. That shit takes time. So what I'm thinking was what happened was Deep Silver was ready to publish it, but they needed something concrete, meaning that they needed verification that this title would be successfully funded based on the demand. So they were able to meet their goals, right? Their funding goals that they set. And soon thereafter, you guys remember this, you guys saw the timeline, Deep Silver was announced as a publisher. So
yeah, it was shady as hell. I'm just saying the whole thing was shady. You know, and here's the thing, but none of this should have had to happen. Like Capcom shouldn't have taken Mega Man just because Keiji Inafune left. Oh, we can't make any more Mega Man games.
But he's
really?
holding this game hostage because what he's trying to do, he's trying to leverage it. And this is just me looking at it from a business perspective. He's using this game, right? Yeah, the successful funding of it to garner interest from within the industry so that he can get more funding or more projects off the ground prior to releasing this broken piece of game. It's not going to be a fun experience from what I hear. A lot of people aren't happy with it. They have played it.
Well, I mean, I haven't played it because they won't release the damn demo for the game. Even the backers aren't getting their demos. A dude, like I said, I had a debate with a dude who was a backer. He's like, "Did you kickstart?" I'm like, "I wouldn't kickstart that." I was insulted that he asked me if I kickstarted it. I'm like, "What?" All the Kickstarters I've backed have been successful because I trusted the people who were in it. Like, I'm not gonna kickstart some shit that's like shady as hell. Like I mean, Keiji Inafune, he is shady as, I mean.
Yeah, he gives you this you know, this dire story of, you know, of not being able to complete a project, or, you know, his vision was stifled because, you know, whatever, and he needs the fan support. That whole nonsense really didn't play well with me.
Keiji Inafune comes across as a used car salesman to me, and I'll tell you the thing that really got me with Keiji. That fucking haircut, I'm like, dude, you're 40-something years old. That haircut is something that someone in college wears. That's not a grown-ass man haircut. Like, are you trying to be cool and a hipster?
Oh, come on. That's his signature haircut.
Maybe his signature. Look, man, you need to get that. You need to change that damn haircut because.
Well, Koji Igarashi has the same shit too. His vampire-ish look and shit.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you need to. Dude, look, they need to keep your ass in the back with that damn haircut. You, the guy who does.
He got a perm and shit. He got a perm at least. I think he got a perm and shit.
They need to keep your ass in the back. The only dude who can get away with wearing that young looking style is
all that hairspray and shit.
Sakurai. That's just because Sakurai fucking looks really, really young. Like, even though age is starting to creep up on him, he's like 40-something years old. He looks like he's in his 30s.
I thought you were going to mention Iwanobu Tagaki.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. They need to keep his ass in the back with that damn cowboy hat on. I'm like, look, man, take that shit off. You're a grown ass man. It's kind of like when you see a grown ass man like in their 30s with kids, like wearing like a muscle shirt. I'm like, look, man, listen, you too damn old to be wearing a muscle shirt. Even if you can pull it off, you just no, sit your ass down. So
you have kids now, man, too, so you're gonna have to dress more appropriately. Come on.
Anyone else have no? If you're embarrassing your kids, that's good because that's what parents are supposed to do. It's in the clause. When you have a kid, you come in, they tell you your father, your mother. Oh, and here's one of the rules: you get to embarrass the shit out of your kids. It helps them develop character.
You are not the father.
As Maury Povich, you are the father. No. But anyway, so my question is this: is there any? Well, I mean, let's talk about the inverse. Is there any franchise that just needs a break?
Yeah, Call of Duty.
Oh man, you just took it right out of my mouth.
Oh, you just gonna kick them in the nuts with that one? Huh?
Yeah, they need to take a break on that. I mean, look at Ubisoft and both EA understood that from their franchise's point of view, because look what they did. Last year they didn't release what do you call it, Battlefield. They held off on Battlefield. Ubisoft isn't going to release an Assassin's Creed this year. You know, I think they understand that they're in that rut right now with the game.
What are you talking about? They haven't released Battlefield last year. They got the Star Wars skin.
No, that's Battlefront. Yeah, I know what you're saying, but what I'm saying is Battlefield, okay, was
their mainline Battlefield hasn't had a install.
Exactly.
Which is, I'm gonna keep it real.
Remember they had Hardline? Okay,
yeah,
Hardline was the year before, right?
That sold abysmally.
So then they've kind of, I think they kind of got the hint. We got to slow this shit down. We can't just be force feeding this shit. But Call of Duty is just force fed every fucking year like Madden, man.
Yep.
And,
I was gonna say
the
that
thing
Madden
is
as well.
that the problem with Call of Duty is that fucking if they do take a year off, man, like Activision has like this fear of people like not like just don't want to bother coming back to Call of Duty the year after when they actually do bring another installment.
Well, they got Destiny
well,
now.
I mean, like,
right?
Well, yeah, no. But what I'm saying is though is like Call of Duty the way it is now, I want that series just to like take a break for a while, or I want it to evolve into something different. But the reason why they won't do it is because they know damn well a lot of people are gonna get pissed off at that. They're gonna up and leave, and that's a lot of money that Call of Duty fucking Activision is gonna lose.
Really? Because I think the opposite would happen. I would think that if people, how can you miss something when it won't leave? I mean, wouldn't it be cool to have them say, okay, look, next year we're going to move to a 2-year cycle. This is the next Call of Duty. This is the next Call of Duty. We will support this Call of Duty with DLC. And new maps, and we're going to revamp how we give you maps and everything. It's going to be awesome. We'll have extra story content. It's going to be great. But here's the thing, okay? We're going to do all this cool shit, but here's what you need to realize, okay? You're not going to get another Call of Duty for the next 2 years, and when we come up with the next one, it's not going to be a direct sequel. Like, we're going to take the feedback we get from this one, and we're going to incorporate it into the next one. Because I mean that's the same thing that happened to Assassin's Creed. I mean, how could they incorporate new ideas when it literally had as soon as the last one went out, they were working on the next one with no real feedback. This needs to change. This needs to change. Oh man, fuck that. We ain't got time for that. I ain't got time to hear that.
Hey, Bear, what were you saying about the Call of Duty thing?
No, I was saying, I'm all for it to see the game take a break for a while, but, I think Activision just refuses to do it because they don't want to lose that fan base. Because a lot of people tend to, I do agree with what Mr. Red Fox is saying, too, as well, but at the same time, a lot of these dude bros, man, they're so fixated on that franchise that if they have to skip out a whole entire year, the motherfuckers will go fucking suicidal, man.
They're so afraid. They're so afraid that it's not going to. I understand where you're coming from. That Activision is afraid, but
yeah.
How can you miss something? Let me put it this way: the reason Far Cry, the reason why Fallout, GTA, Zelda games, major 3D Mario titles. The reason those things sell well and make money is because people aren't burnt out on it. You look forward to the next GTA. You look forward to the next Elder Scrolls. You look forward to the next Fallout. You look forward to, because you have time to say, okay, I'm tired of this. What's the new one? Like Call of Duty, it's like, if I wait 6 months after Call of Duty comes out, I'm gonna be able to get it for like $20 on sale.
Well, sometimes even that's not even the case sometimes too as well, because like even to this very given day, I can go down to my local GameStop store and Black Ops 2, a 2-year-old fucking Call of Duty game, is still full on price, brand new, which to me is fucking ridiculous, man.
Yeah, that is a little mind-boggling, but I mean, generally speaking, I mean, the price of these things kind of go down a little bit. So, I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, I want it to do better. I want to see more. Like, I don't know about you, but I'm tired. Like Call of Duty for me, like Assassin's Creed. These are games that I'm just tired of looking at. I'm like, look, man, I enjoy you. You're fun, but you need to go home. Like, go. Like, I can't miss you when you aren't gone. Like, how can I miss you?
I'm the same way too as well. But to me, it's like it's sadly, and I hate to say it, but it's a guilty pleasure of mine. But even though the last iteration, Black Ops 3, was complete and utter trash, like straight up garbage, straight up fucking garbage, man. Big letdown on Treyarch's behalf, man, with that piece of shit game.
They were the last hope.
They
were the Obi-Wan Kenobi of the Call of Duty franchise. They failed. They were cut down by Vader.
Well, I won't go that far. I think, like I said, the turnover rate for Call of Duty, because even though they're like, we have different studios,
but they said they were going to go on a three-year development cycle, right?
Yeah, because they claim they have different studios working on it. But how quickly can you have turnover when you're releasing the same? Basically, because I mean, yeah, there's slight differences because of who's releasing what, but it's like the same game every goddamn year.
Well, I mean, to be fair, it is different to an extent, because like all weapons perform differently, maps are different.
Yeah, but I mean, you're still running around shooting shit in the face.
But I mean, you can say that for all shooters, right? I mean, every online multiplayer deathmatch oriented segment shooter game is the same kind of thing. Shoot people in the face. But,
I mean, let me put it this way. I understand their differences between the Call of Duties, and I'm being kind of facetious when I say they're all the same. But to the average person who's not a Call of Duty fan, you show them a picture of those games, it's like, this is the same shit I got last year.
What version is this? Is this Modern Warfare 2? Is this 3? Is this Black Ops?
Is this Battlefield?
Yeah, is this Battlefield?
It's really hard. It's really hard to understand. Like, oh, this is the same. This is a different one. And they aren't the only ones who have this problem. I mean, Nintendo had the same problem with the new Super Mario Brothers games, because they're very similar looking. Yeah. If you're a fan of that franchise, you're like, damn, this plays very different from this one. But if you're just the average consumer, it's like, this is the same shit I got last year.
It's funny because a lot of people, shit on that game when it launched on the Wii U, and we already know like that game, was trying to feed out the actual success to that, because that game sold tremendously well on the Wii. So when they came out with the Wii U version, a lot of people looked at it and said, why would Nintendo launch this game, blah, 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 blah. They did it for two things, at least in my mind. One was that gained that mass appeal that the original one did on the Wii, which was a phenomenal game. But I've always looked at the new Super Mario Brothers game as paying homage to the classic side-scrolling Mario games. And there's nothing wrong with that. There's not a damn thing wrong with that, because we can all go back this very given day and play 1, 2, and 3, and even Super Mario Brothers or Super Mario World, and still love those games for what they are, because of how great they are. And these games just pay homage to that. That's all they are. And I don't really have a problem with it, because when I played Super Mario Brothers U, man, I fucking enjoyed every minute of playing that game, man. I had that game because it just brought me right back to the old school classics, man.
But it is, I mean, look, like I said, graphically, it looks very similar. The gameplay, but I mean, that's kind of like the caveat for games like that, is that it's not really about how it looks. It's the level design, how it plays, that type of thing. But for Call of Duty, I mean, literally, that game, it's like Assassin's Creed. How many times can I climb buildings, go to the top, press context sensitive button to open up the map, go over here, jump down, stab this guy in the head while I'm jumping down? Like, how many times can we play the same game over and over with minute differences?
Hey, people like that stuff, man. It's like, people always ask me, it's like, Bear, why do you play Dynasty Warriors every time a new iteration comes up? I'm like, well, why do you play Call of Duty every year? And they always just give me, well, because it's fun. I'm like, there's your answer. You know what I mean? So I tell them the exact same thing, man.
I have to agree. I got the Hyrule Warriors game. I enjoyed that, and then I was like, well, Omega Force, they know what the hell they're doing. So I got the Dragon Warriors Omega Force game. That game is so worse is not as good as Hyrule Warriors.
Mm-hmm.
And like
that's why I've been avoiding it for a while. Yeah.
Content-wise, I'm like, damn, you done fucked up, Square Enix. Well, it's Square Enix, so.
Squeenix is what I call them.
They've been messing up for a while now. But
they have been, yeah.
Anyway, so anyone have anything else that they wish would just like, you need a break. You need to sit down, go home. You're drunk. You know, sleep it off. Go do something else.
I think the entire EA, Ubisoft, and Activision need to go home for a little bit.
Hey, that's Skylanders though.
No.
Oh wait.
Yeah, we don't. Who
You don't even see Skylanders in the media that much anymore compared to past generation, man.
Yeah.
Oh, I said this before. Okay. The problem, if you're gonna have a Toys to Life franchise, you need to have really good, noticeable IPs. Name 10 Skylanders. Aside from Spyro, most people can't. Name 10 Disney Infinity characters. You can. Mickey, Donald, Goofy, Aladdin, Ren, Darth Vader, Anakin. I mean, you can name at least 10. Name 10 Amiibos. You can probably do that. But, like, Skylanders has a IP problem because no one knows who the hell these people are. Like, you can't do it. It's like, who the hell? I don't know these people except for Spyro and maybe Scorch. Because I liked the Spyro Rebirth games, okay? I'm a nerd. I like those games. They weren't great, but they were a damn sight better than Skylanders, in my opinion.
Boy, the Spyro games that came out on the PS2 and GameCube.
Yeah, I liked them. I was a sucker for 2D platformers in the 6th gen, so I got like Rough Trigger, the Vanacore Conspiracy, which was a Ratchet and Clank clone. I got what was it called?
Metal Warriors. Oh my God. You know, one thing though that I will say that came out of Sony's press conference last, I think it was at the PlayStation Experience, exactly, to be honest, that really got me super excited was when Tim Schafer came out.
Yeah.
I hate that guy, but when he came out and he revealed that what do you call it there, what the hell was that game called that they're remastering there, that was an old school DOS game. What the fuck was it called? Day
of the Tentacle?
No, not that one. No. It was an old school one. It was from LucasArts. No, I forget what the fuck it's on.
Grim Fandango.
No, that's already out.
Maniac
Tim Schafer.
Full Throttle.
Yeah.
Full Throttle. Okay. When they came out and said they're remastering that, dude, I lit up like a fucking Christmas tree, bro.
Wow.
Yeah.
That was a game of my childhood, man. That was a game back, and I played the fucking shit out of that game back when I was a kid, man.
Yeah, I mean, look, listen. I'm on the opposite end of the spectrum. I'm a huge Tim Schafer fan. That was one of the few things I wasn't mad about at Sony's press conference. I'm like, oh, we're getting a Psychonauts 2. Okay.
Yeah,
I'll deal with it.
Yeah.
I'll deal with it. I don't care. It's like Tim Schafer. Look, if you told me Tim Schafer ate babies, before you put him in jail, let him finish the 2, and we'll, send him
we'll talk about it. Talk about prison time.
Shit.
Look, send him to jail, but first let him finish this game, and then okay, go ahead.
Because people have been asking for a second now for a long time.
He just doesn't F up. Don't F up.
If you look, anyone who played Psychonauts, you know that game ended on a cliffhanger, and I want to know what happened. So F you guys. Oh, Tim Schafer said this. Look, listen. He's a game developer. Does he make shitty games? No. Then let him make his game. I don't care what he has to. I don't care what he thinks. I want to play the game. Damn. I want Psychonauts too. That's all.
You think they want to remaster that?
What, Psychonauts? Remaster Psychonauts?
Yeah.
Well,
I'm
they've
sure
already
that's
kind of
gonna come.
remastered it. Although they might re-release it again. Which if they did like a duology, like you pre-order the game and you get like a remaster of the original Psychonauts, I'd play it. Because I can't even get it to play on my current PC. I can get it to play on my old PC, but not my current one, which is weird as hell. But whatever.
Oh, you got to change your. Is it Windows 10?
Yep.
That's why you got to go in there and change your your support and
Compatibility to 8.
yeah, you got to change it from automatic to 7, or I would suggest 7. Keep it simple.
Here's the weird thing, though. I can play.
But you got to go to the main. You got to go to the files themselves, the game files.
Well, here's the weird thing, though. I can play Psychonauts, perfectly well on my like on my Windows 10 laptop.
Probably because you're using a different. I don't know. Maybe it's not a Windows. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's a DirectX issue then. That's why when you change the compatibility, it makes it easier to run.
Man, I don't know. For me, it's just more of Microsoft's bullshit. But anyway, so yeah, I would really like to see some of those games brought back. But some of them, like Assassin's Creed, like when I heard they were like, oh man, we're letting it go. We're gonna let it. Yeah, Metal Warriors is really good. You know who made that game? It was the Japanese studio that made.
It was LucasArts, wasn't it?
No, LucasArts was the publisher. But
Konami was the publisher.
well, the team that made that game, like the people who made it.
That game was so cool, man. You guys ever play that?
The same people who made that did Cybernator.
Wasn't that shit awesome, man? For its time, I mean, you go into. It's like. What happened to that type of innovations when I'm fucking wondering what I mean, there's so many fucking classics out there. They can just use that material, that source material and go and run with it, man.
Cuz people hate taking risks nowadays. Everything has to be safe. Everything must be safe.
Mystical Ninja, the fucking Bomberman series, the fucking, all the LucasArts games, because LucasArts was a fucking juggernaut back then. Everything LucasArts put together back in that era was fucking amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys may not agree with everything I'm saying, but in my opinion, that's what it was.
No, they were. LucasArts
Konami, Capcom, they put some good shit together. They put some solid. The Lost Vikings. Anybody remember that from Blizzard?
Blizzard and Interplay.
Why don't they remake that? How many people wouldn't want to play a puzzle type game? Because that's essentially what that was. You
got to take that up with Blizzard.
You know what? It's kind of ironic when you say that.
It was amazing, man.
And right now on cable or the Netflix, there's actually a Viking series.
I will. I would love. I don't know if you guys ever played a game called Destiny of the Emperor, the first one, not the second one or the other one. Destiny.
Yeah, it was like an RPG.
It was a Capcom game on the NES. It was based on the romancing romancing saga novels or whatever, Romance Kingdom novels. Basically, what your Dynasty Warriors is based off of.
Romance of the Three Kingdoms.
Yeah, the Romance of the Three. That game will always have a special place in my heart. That game right there was ahead of its time.
Yeah, it was like an RPG, but it was like
awesome.
Instead of hit points, you had like your troop levels.
And you can like
instead of magic, you had tactics.
Yeah, you can enlist the support of all these different generals and tacticians to basically change the outcome of what we consider history. That was cool.
Yeah, it had like Cao and Liu Bei and all that. Yan Jin. Shit like that. Yeah, it was one of those games really good, and if people would take a chance, I guess at the end of the day, what we've learned from Blast from the Past is that a lot of these companies have stopped wanting to take chances. They want a sure thing, but
give me a Super Castlevania. Give me something, man.
I'd kill for another Super Castlevania because we haven't gotten anything like that in years.
Give me an Actraiser. Give me something, you know. Fuck.
And don't get me started on Breath of Fire, bastards.
Oh man, Breath of Fire. Did you read that quote from your boy?
No. Who?
I put it in the chat. I'm gonna read it for everybody so everybody knows how this asshole thinks. In December of 2008, in an interview with gaming website OneUp.com, Capcom's former head of production, KG Inafune, stated that Breath of Fire series would be put on hiatus due to the company's lack of staff and an increasingly competitive role-playing market. Basically, what he's saying is that they couldn't make anything compelling to compete with Final Fantasy. That's what that statement told me. That's bullshit.
And that's why Final Fantasy has gone.
That's why KG Inafune ain't with Capcom anymore.
Because there's no
short-sightedness, people.
When there's no competition in an industry, it stagnates. Why do you think when Squaresoft had to worry about Enix with Dragon Quest, they were competing. When they had to worry about, hey man, these people are coming out with Breath of Fire, these other people are coming out with Lufia. These other people over here got Overbattle. These people over here got
which got bought out by Square.
Well, Namco Bandai had Namco, it was before they fused with Bandai. Namco had Tails. Like, you had competition between these companies, and they had to either find a niche or compete. But then Square Enix just started buying people. So no competition. No competition equals no. It stagnates. It's the reason why Final Fantasy has kind of, like, they play it kind of safe sometimes.
Yeah, no competition equals no innovation.
But I mean, you know, I was mad when the guy who was the director of that game, they're like, "What are you doing to make the third game better?" Because, you know, he's like, "Well, we made her tits bigger." I was like, "You motherfucker." You piece of shit. Like, I was so mad.
Gosh, yeah, I remember that.
Seriously? That's like all the issues with this fucking game, and you're just gonna make her boobs bigger? Seriously?
That was really surprising when I read that. I'm like,
well, he didn't.
Anybody burned out by Sonic? I am.
Yeah, Sonic needs to take a retirement. They're like, we're gonna announce a new game at South by Southwest, and I'm like, and here's the news flash: no one cares. No one cares about Sonic anymore.
We talk about the Call of Duty series. You know, I know a lot of people are bitching about there not being a true 3D Mario sequel. I think Mario should have taken a break. Should take a break.
Yeah, he does need a break, but I'll tell this much about Mario. The mainline Mario games do have a pause between them. It's not like you're getting one every year. What, do they use the IP a lot? Well, hell, I mean, it's one of the highest selling IPs ever. Of course they're going to use it a lot, but I mean, there is a pause between that. But literally, like, I'm getting tired of Call of Duty. It's every damn year. Every year. Yearly. It's a yearly franchise. How many times can you shoot the terrorists with a gun? How many times? It's getting old. For America. We gotta stop them for America.
America.
For America. Like they say, America, fuck yeah. But yeah, I'm getting old. You know, it's getting old. Like constantly seeing these games, like certain games. You know, there's certain things that they really should be making a lot of. Like we shouldn't have to wait. Like certain things just need more time. Like, I mean, indie games. Okay, you're talking small person team.
I'm gonna give all the fucking developers out there that are listening to this shit, because I'm pretty sure some of them go back and play the old school classics. Play some of the niche games. Learn some of the fundamental basic mechanics that makes those games great. Bring that translated over into this new generation of gaming, and you will have a fucking hit. Trust me.
Dude, why are you asking these people to play old shit? Look, we don't play old shit. We're looking to the
Sometimes
future.
you got to go back to the history, your past, to learn.
And with that,
not to make the same mistakes again.
And with that, we've reached the end of the cast. Anyone else want to bring up anything else before we close things out? Any
there's
lingering topics?
One thing. What about the people complaining about the fact that No Man's Sky is $60?
What?
What?
Wait, what?
Get the fuck out of here. Get the fuck out of here.
That is a lot.
Get your shit together. Get your shit together.
Look, let me put it this way, okay? The game has the scope of a standard issue, of a really ambitious AAA game, okay? So, like, the man wants to make money off of his work.
People gotta eat, man. People have to eat. No, it's kidding.
No, I mean, look. The dude wants to. Let me put it this way. I haven't played the game. I've been following up on some of the information about it. It's a very large scope game. It has a lot of stuff going on, and the man put his blood, sweat, and tears into it, and so he deserves to get paid for his work. Shit. Like he should take a hit so that people can play the indie game scene is just like the main market game scene. Look, there's different tiers of games. There's some games that are $15, $20, $30. There's some games that are $50 and $60. That's just how it is, and this is a $60 indie game. So what?
You have to realize that a lot of these developers that you like so much started out as indie developers. Started out as indies at one point in time. And Nintendo's just a really, really rich indie developer. So.
Yeah, technically they are a very, very rich indie developer. So, I mean, whatever. But let me put it this way: most of these companies would make better games if they thought like they were indies and stopped thinking like we're the big dogs. They would have better budgets. Their games would be more creative, and they take more risks. But whatever.
How much would it cost to make a fucking hit right now? How much would you think you need to make a good game?
Budgeting wise?
Yeah.
I think if you have a good idea, you could do it for anywhere from between 1 to maybe 20 million. If you know how to budget, but none of these people really know how to budget. Everything has to be like 30, 40, 50, 60. If it's not 50 or higher, they're bad.
Is that advertising as well?
No, I think that's without advertising because The Witcher is 34 million. The Witcher 3 was 34 million, but when they that's without advertising. With advertising, it was like 80, 74 or something like that.
So who's gonna pay the advertising?
Normally I would agree. I understand where you're going, but the thing is that at the end of the day, there are games that are indies that have lower budgets and are some indies are selling more than these AAA games.
Okay, so then you don't have to advertise. You just go word of mouth.
It's how you advertise, right? If a game, genuinely speaking, most of the time, if a game is really good, word of mouth will spread and it'll get big. If you don't have faith in your product that you have to spend half of what you spent to make it in order to advertise it or more, you need to go back and learn how to make a good game.
Remember back in the Super NES days, and even to some extent the 32-bit era, there wasn't a lot of advertising for every game. There was only a few, handful of the first and second party games, right? And then the Mortal Kombats and Street Fighters and shit. But the majority of those games relied to sell on were word of mouth.
Yep.
And those ads came
like GamePro magazine, the EGMs, the computer and video game magazines and shit that people used to order and get their information from. A lot of companies, that's how they advertise, was that way, because they couldn't afford the commercials. They had to go through the traditional means. But games were successful because the word of mouth,
Budget is a dirty word, though. because you need to spend at least half of your budget. You need to spend at least 100% of the budget you spent on the game on advertising nowadays.
It's a lot of money, man.
Or if you're like Activision, because they actually said this, industry analysts are like, oh, we spend it actually only takes between 50 to 75 million to make a Call of Duty game, but they spend like 75 to 100 million advertising a Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn, at this point, you don't even need to advertise Call of Duty. Just be like one commercial. Yeah, it's coming out. Yeah, woo! The maps are coming to PS4 first.
What happens to all those cardboard cutouts? You know what I'm talking about?
You know what happens. They get thrown in the back. They get thrown into the trash.
Man.
So, we've established that Mario's played out a little bit, according to some people, that Sonic definitely needs to take a break. It's not that Sonic needs to take a break. They either make a good Sonic game or stop messing up the legacy. That's it.
Yeah.
Make a good one, shit or get off the pot. That's all I'm saying.
I'm gonna give Sega some advice. Take the original 3 Sonics, remake them in today's graphics fidelity, whatever, and call it a fucking day, and regain that legacy, or reestablish it, whatever you want to fucking say.
No, man, I'm gonna take it a step further.
Uh-oh.
Since they obviously don't know how to make a 3D Sonic game, and Sonic has never had his he's never had his jump from 2D to 3D. He didn't get it. Okay, his official boom. This is awesome. So.
Well, what are you talking about, Mr. Red Fox? Adventure 2 is the greatest game ever. No, it's
okay. Sonic did not have his Mario. Sonic did not have his Mario 64. Link had his Ocarina of Time. Mario had his Mario 64. Even Donkey Kong had his Donkey Kong Country 64. Yeah. Everyone has had their jump from 2D to 3D. Sonic's jump from 2D to 3D was less than stellar in my opinion. So here's my thing, and I know this is gonna sound terrible. Get some people from Nintendo to help you make a 3D Sonic game, because they're good at it.
Well, you heard Miyamoto. Miyamoto said that they don't believe in working on other IPs when they have to tend to their own IPs.
Well, that may be the case, but look, Sonic needs some help, man. He's like a dope fiend. He needs some help, man. He needs some help, man. He needs an intervention. He needs some help, dude. He all jacked up. He need help.
He's on that crack, son.
Look, Sonic definitely needs some help. And with that being said, anyone have anything else they want to say before we wrap things up, so folks can go and do other things if they want to or whatever?
Screw third parties.
If Dr. Phil goes there, he's saying fuck third parties. Fuck them, arrogant assholes.
Yeah.
Nobody wants another Sonic Riders game?
No, never.
It's done right. It has to be done right.
No. We already have a good Sonic Riders. It's called Sonic Adventure Racing Transformed. That's the good one.
That's actually a decent Mario Kart.
Oh, yeah, that's actually pretty decent. Yeah.
That's Diddy Kong Racing, except no Diddy Kong. It's Sonic.
Yeah, it is essentially Diddy Kong Racing.
But in a good way.
Yeah, it definitely wasn't a bad game. I kind of like to see people, try their own version of a kart racer. I wish more people. I like to see people try their own version of a platformer too, like a 3D platformer, and not just Nintendo. Holding a candle. Like I like Nintendo stuff. It'd just be interesting to see more takes on it.
You didn't like Spyro the Dragon?
Spyro the Dragon was decent when I was a kid. I don't know how I feel about it now, but that was a fun game.
Oh, Monkey Ball. Anybody like that series?
I like Monkey Ball.
Man.
Huh?
I said Monkey Ball was the shit.
The best Monkey Ball I ever played was Super Monkey Ball on the GameCube. The first
GameCube,
one.
yeah, the GameCube had
that is like that analog control stick was just.
Yeah, Sega's been showing a lot of love to Nintendo over the years.
Yeah, the dog has to.
Oh, don't do that. Don't do it, man. Don't do it, man. Don't say it now. I know what you're gonna say, Kanosh.
They had to admit defeat. Had to come barking back to his master, Master Nintendo.
Oh, don't say it, Kanoshi, man.
I will say this: why the heck did they have to end it with Sonic Boom? It was a big boom, all right.
Jeez.
No.
Look, Sonic Boom was terrible. We can all agree on that. But it was, as a matter of fact, Sonic Boom was a steaming pile of shit. But it could have been worse. It could have been way worse. It could have been Frabjous. It could have been way worse. So, you gotta do what you gotta do, man.
Yep.
You gotta do what you gotta do.
Hopefully one day we'll get a good Sonic game, but I don't think it's going to be this day or this year or this month because Sega has just been jacked up lately.
Guilty Gear Xrd or new Xrd is up on Steam now. Saw that a couple days ago.
It's a good game. Look, Guilty Gear is the Street Fighter I always wanted, but Capcom doesn't have the skills or talent to make anymore, so.
Doesn't look like a game I could ever get good at because there's like so much shit happening on screen at once. It's just
Nah, man. Look, if you know how to play Street Fighter 2, you can play Guilty Gear. If you play Street Fighter 2, you can play Guilty Gear because a lot of those combos are the same.
Well, I have Street Fighter 2 for the Wii U. I guess I'll just practice on that for a while and I'll play Guilty Gear.
So anyway, wrap this thing up. We talked about a blast from the past, games that we wish would come back, and then it kind of warped a little bit to games we wish would kind of not retire, but go do something else for a while. I don't know, go to Miami.
Have a vacation.
Break.
Holiday.
Sonic needs a break because of Sonic Boom, man. That really hurt him. You know, he needs to go in the corner and lick his wounds, because.
Like Sonic 06 didn't hurt him?
Oh, man. Sonic 06 was a tragedy.
That was a decade ago, but that was still... So,
that game came out 10 years ago? Holy crap. It's that long?
Man.
That still stings today. That's how...
Yeah, we can still bring it a decade later. It's like 10 years. They're still like, hey, that was rock... Like, we thought that was rock bottom. We thought Sonic 06 was rock bottom, but apparently it wasn't. So, now that we've...
Sonic the Disaster has a brother now. It's called Sonic the Tragedy, I guess, or whatever
really?
the clever name.
I think Sonic 06 is still worse, in my opinion. It's still worse than Sonic. It's still worse than Sonic Boom, because at least Sonic Boom, there are parts of Sonic Boom that, even though that overall game is shitty, there are parts of it that work. Very few parts, but there are parts of it that do work. But Sonic 06 is just bad all around. Like, there's no redeeming features with that game. Even the speed sections suck. That's what I'm saying.
I remember seeing gameplay of it on Game Explain. I was like, man, this game will not be ready. This game will not.
Well, there was no way it could be ready. There was no way that game could be ready. So, with that, it's time to wrap things up. Anyone have anything they want to pimp out?
Yeah, go ahead and check out Poppy 2K Gaming's podcast number 1. Oh shit, son, from last night. Very how do I say, fierce debating.
There's nothing fierce about it. It was just people fucking around. If you want to see a fierce debate, go to Induo's channel.
Oh.
You'll see a fierce debate.
Yeah, I gotta watch the rest of that debate.
You got time, dude. Sunday. Anyway, so yeah, overall I liked it. It was a great film. Poppy 2K's was really good. Go watch it. Poppy 2K YouTube channel. It's fucking awesome. Go watch it, or else will find you and hunt you down. No, I'm joking. I will find you. I don't have a lot of money, but what I do have are a particular set of skills.
I'm selling some new merchandise. I'm getting these printed off soon. They're called "Oh Shit Son" bumper stickers. So go ahead and order them if you want. Hit me up.
All right, then. All I can say is this is Triple M, the lone wolf in Funds for Games that forms into a fireball. Oh, thank you for the illusion, Charmander, and also pops out in my artworks. See you guys.
All right.
I was just joking, Mr. Red Fox.
No, it's okay. Anyone else? Anyone else got?
But that's not a bad idea, though.
Anyone else got anything? Okay, fine. I guess I'll pimp out and then we'll wrap things up. This is Mr. Red Fox. I didn't bring up anything I wanted to bring back just because, like everything I want to bring back are RPGs, and it would be really hard to bring these RPGs back because the companies that hold the rights to them are either dead or swallowed by Square Enix. And Square Enix can barely get a Final Fantasy right. I know they can't get a Luffy.
September 30th, Final Fantasy 15 is going to be released.
Square Enix is
September
an obese
30th.
child. Square Enix is like an obese child. Just
a fat kid trying to run. Waffles.
Took on too much weight.
I want a chocolate milkshake. So anyway, now that we've insulted fat people by comparing them to Square Enix, I guess it's time to wrap things up. Peace out. I'm glad all my guests were here.
Thanks for having me.
Yeah, I'm glad everyone was able to make it. We had a decent viewership.
Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, so peace out, y'all, and stay tuned next week. We'll be talking about, since we already kind of talked about, we'll go back on Vivendi Watch. Can Ubisoft keep Vivendi from breaking down their back door and taking over the castle? I almost turned it dirty.